Hello guys, welcome back to BioSchool. This is Gayatri. Hope you all are doing well. Many students ask me what is CSIR NET examination, what is the validity of its certification, what are the career opportunities after qualifying the CSIR NET exam, and a lot of questions. So this video is for those who have any doubts regarding the CSIR NET examination. So guys, please watch the video till the end. Hello everyone, those who are in the graduation and currently pursuing the MSc, they have a lot of doubts regarding the CSIR NET exam, like what is the eligibility, what is the JRF, what is LS, how long is the certificate is valid, how many number of time we can attempt the exam, what is the pattern of examination and the age limit, and what is the career after the qualifying the examination. If you have any of these doubts, then please do watch the video till the end. So first, what is CSIR NET? The CSIR NET stands for Council of Scientific and Industrial Research National Eligibility Test, and it is a national level examination which is conducted by NTA. NTA is the National Testing Agency. Okay, and this exam is conducted to select the candidates for the award of JRF, that is the Junior Research Fellowship, or LS, that is lectureship, for determining their eligibility for appointment as lecturers in Indian universities and colleges. So what is the eligibility for CSIR NET examination? For appearing the CSIR NET examination, the candidate should have the degree in BTech, BE, B Pharma, MBBS or MSc with minimum 55% of marks. Then the next question is number of attempts. There is no limitation on the number of attempts. You can attempt the examination as many times as you can. Then the important point is that age limit. Yes, there is an age limit in CSIR NET examination for Junior Research Fellowship. To apply for JRF, candidates should be maximum 28 years in age for the general category. But there is an age relaxation for special categories, but there is no upper age limit for lectureship. Okay, so you can appear the lectureship examination throughout your life. Then what is the validity of the certification? For Junior Research Fellowship, it will remain valid only for the 2 years from the date of issue. Within that period, you have to enroll yourself in any university for the PhD to avail the fellowship. But for the lectureship, it will be valid for lifetime once you qualify the examination. Then now, what is the exam pattern? Okay, the CSIR NET exam, it's online, and the total duration is 3 hours. Questions are asked in 2 languages, that is in Hindi and in English, and the exam it is conducted twice a year, typically in the month of June and December. This year the exam was postponed because of this COVID pandemic. Probably the exam will be on the second week of November. And the questions are basically asked in the 3 sections, that is the part A, part B and part C. So total number of questions you will get in part A is the 20. Out of the 20 questions, you have to answer only the 15 questions, and each question that carries the 2 marks. So the total marks from the part A is the 30 marks, and the negative mark is 0.5. And part A, the questions are from the aptitude. In the part B, you will get 50 questions. Out of 50 questions, you have to answer only 35 questions. And similarly, like a part A, it also carries the 2 marks. So the total marks from the part B is 70 marks, and the negative mark is 0.5 per question. And part B, you will get the questions from your subject, and the questions are direct questions. Part C, there are the 75 questions. Out of 75 questions, you have to answer only the 25 questions, and each question carries 4 marks. So the total mark is 100, and the negative mark is 1 per question. Part C has the questions from your subject, and these are the analytical type of the questions. the question is, what is JRF and what is lectureship or the LS? In the application form of CSIR UGC NET examination, if you mention that JRF means that includes both the lectureship as well as the junior research fellow. But your selection into the JRF or the lectureship, it depends on the cutoff mark and how much mark you scored in the examination. Basically, for qualifying the JRF, it requires the higher cutoff marks than the LS. Let's consider for the general category. If for the LS is about 102, then for the JRF the marks should be around 115 to 120 to 120 marks. Okay. But if in the application form you have selected the lectureship, then you will not be eligible for the JRF. Okay. So it's always better to choose the JRF in the application form. Then what are the facilities available after qualifying the JRF? For the fellowship, after the qualifying the JRF, you will get the fellowship, and for getting that fellowship you have to register yourself in a research work in any Indian universities within 2 years from the date of qualifying examination. What is the fellowship amount the JRF candidates get? Like for the first 2 years you will work as a junior research fellow and your fellowship amount is 31,000 per month. After the 2 years of the time, then you will be promoted to the senior research fellow, and that will be decided by the committee of expert members. If they are satisfied, then you will be promoted from JRF to SRF, that is the senior research fellow, and your fellowship amount, it will be increased to 35,000 per month, and that is valid for 3 years. Okay. Besides the fellowship amount, you will get the contingency, which is 20,000 per annum. Contingency amount is that amount which is required for what you have purchased for your research work, that is covered in your contingency amount. And you will get the house rent allowance. The house rent, it depends on the city in which you are doing your PhD. So the house rent allowance, it may be the 10%, 20% or the 30% of your fellowship amount that you will get in each month. Then the lectureship. Lectureship is eligible for assistant professor or lecturer post. If you qualified the LS, then you are eligible for the assistant professor or lecturer post. So now we'll discuss what are the career opportunities. If you are interested in pursuing your higher studies, then you will go for the PhD. So many research universities and the institution, they prefer a CSIR NET qualified candidates. If you qualified the CSIR NET examination, then your selection into the PhD will be easier, because you don't have to appear the entrance test. Directly you will appear the interview and you will get selected. If you are passionate about the research and the development field, then you can apply for the research fellow position in top universities. Then the third one is that you can also work as a scientific laboratory support staff. Your task will be to help the research analyst in developing the science and the research. And another point is that after the qualifying the CSIR NET examination, you are now eligible for applying the assistant professor or the lecturer post in various state and the central government universities. Also, the CSIR NET qualified candidates are considered on priority basis in private universities too. After qualifying the CSIR NET examination, you can become a subject matter expert. You can help the other students in building their careers. Many institutions also approach you for their tutors. You can open your own institutions. The career opportunities basically depends on your interest, like what you want to become, like if you want to do the research, or you want to pursue the higher studies, or you want to become a teacher and to help the students. So hope you have got a clear idea about the CSIR NET examination, its eligibility, validity and the career opportunity. So if you like this video, then don't forget to share with your friends and subscribe my channels. Bye bye, see you in my next video.